I shrugged unnaturally at Lisa's remark, and worked on the rest of the stir-fry. Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Fud's playing World End Economica. I still can't say it properly, but that's the name of the game I'm playing. And welcome back to dinner. Well, we just finished dinner from the looks of it. I know she put 200 more into a cabinet, but when I looked at Lisa's face when she held her receipt, I didn't feel like telling her to get that out. I thought maybe I did something stupid, but if the time came, I could always just ask her to nullify the rent. I stuffed my stomach full of pork and peppers and belched during my next words. Well, just pay it back when you can. I also owe some favours too. Well, if you could put things more appropriately, you'd probably be popular with girls, you know. Ha! I snickered and drank my tea. I was even a little ashamed of myself, wondering if that's what I was missing. I'll pay you back soon. Well, how soon would depend on that. Lisa chuckled weakly, and Hagana was definitely glaring at me after seeing Lisa's expression. She probably thought I didn't deserve any thanks, but reason didn't really fly with this girl. Thanks for dinner. I paid no heed to Hagana, got up from my chair, and went back to my room. After dark, I continued to watch news and read upon stocks puzzling over my avenue attack of tomorrow when there was a knock on my door. I figured it must be Lisa, since she'd actually come to do the proper thing. As expected, her voice came through the door. Are you asleep? I'm not a grade school, you know. Well, aren't you? Kind of like one. Well, I probably look that way from a point of view of an auntie like you. What? Aunt? So what's up? I got a surprising mad reaction. I figured I'd managed to pay her back for all the time she'd treat him like a kid. Lisa was about to say something, but muttered it to herself as stated her business. Got time to come up here? What? Lisa answered me after looking over at the living room. At least while Hagana's in my bath. Oh well, okay I guess. Wait a second. Are we going to get another scene with Hagana not paying us any heed and trying to sneak into the living room wearing her panties again? I closed my computer, putting it into a password-locked sleep mode, and headed out into the hallway. You're surprisingly methodical. A man needs his share of secrets to survive. Right. Lisa walked out and I followed her. Using the unreliable light of a diode lamp to guide our way, we headed up the steep stairs. The courtyard I saw during the day was lit by light pouring out of Lisa's room. Lisa invited me into a room. What left me speechless wasn't that her room was all pink and girly. In fact, if that was the case, I just laughed my head off before I'd feel any surprise. Lisa's room was a simple room, perhaps a little more crowded than mine, but it came with a bed and a desk. There was a good reason for all cramped feeling. There was real books lined against the walls. Oh, there was a lot of real books. Are these the real thing? That's right. I'd fetch a hefty price too. Lisa pulled out a chair for me, and then she opened a drawer and took out a small bottle. Can you drink, Hal? For a second I couldn't figure out who his Hal was until I quickly realised it was me. Perhaps it caught me by surprise, but it felt kind of odd and tingly. Me and alcohol? Or perhaps you've never had any. I'm not some loser. And I was truly a loser when I proclaimed that. Lisa was really good at making people dance on her palm. Or perhaps I really was a kid after all. Well, gotta try it to really know. She then poured some into a cheap-looking silvery cup and handed it to me. It was amber liquid, and the whiff of it had quite smoky. Don't drink it all in one gulp. I thought I'd been treated like a kid again, but I was about to drink it all down to show her, but she managed to slip some words in before that happened. I'd like you to savour the flavour. This woman was truly underhanded. With a sulking face, I gave it a taste and was on the verge of coughing. Well, what do you want to talk about? Or do you just want to booze me up? She talks from a sorrowful word, doesn't she? It's not really that. There's something else I wanted to talk about today. Today? Yep. When Mr. Tayama came today, what really happened? Lisa swished a cup in front of her and stared down at it. As I dawdled, Lisa looked back and continued. Hagana really can't keep a poker face about things, and, well, you're kind of like the same. Quiet. But I'm really happy that you covered up for her. Guess shaking hands isn't really needed to make up. Giving a smile on Lisa's face as she said this, I couldn't begrudgingly accept it. I was also happy about it. However, I couldn't just candidly say yes to her. Knowing full well I was being childish again, I lowered my voice as much as possible to give my reply. No, I'm that petty-minded. Yep, I also believe that you weren't. Lisa sipped some liquor and swallowed it down emptily. When I had drunk some, it felt like someone had shoved a smokestack into my mouth. The way Lisa drank it was very fitting. This made Lisa irrefutably look like an adult and me look like a child. However, I didn't think that Lisa was doing it to look like an adult or anything. Rather, it appeared like she might have been using it to loosen her lips. So, what happened? I don't know the details since I came in halfway. Okay. But, well, I can imagine what happened. When I returned, there was a big commotion. The old geezer was livid, throwing sofas and stuff on a rampage. And, well, that girl was like her usual self. Hagana. Hagana was like her usual self, totally angry and belligerent while at the same time trembling. Sheesh, so then what happened? Then I instantly thought it was some burglar, smacked him down, restrained him and shut him up. While I was listening to the accounts of what happened, I realised that this old guy was probably not at fault, released him, and then paid off the interest, that's all. Lisa was staring at her cup for a second, took another drink, as if to drink away a sigh, and then asked me, so, what about the lilies? Oh, lilies. Oh, that girl. Hagana told me there had to be 7. So I got some for her. Wait, how do you know that? Of course I know. Where do you think the laundry gets something out to dry? Lisa rolled her eyes while asking me that. Oh yeah, I guess it'd be there by the garden with a flower bed on the 3rd level. Furthermore, the ones in a vase was something given to me. The ones in the flower bed were ones I grew. I was really impressed that 2 of them had been uprooted. When I came back to the living room and saw the dirt-laden roots in the garbage, and the smooshed lilies thrown in a room together, well, let's say you don't have to be Einstein to figure out what happened. Brilliant deduction, but can I ask something? What? Why would Hagana want to hide this incident from you? It's not like the first time that Hagana looked down on people and pissed them off, but besides it, Mr. Tiyama and watched his face and appeared to be some elite guest who we shouldn't upset at any cost. However, Hagana did everything she could to hide the incident, or perhaps she was overly concerned about being thing with the lilies, and tried to hide everything. While I was pondering such things, Lisa slowly wet her lips with liquor. She thinks the death was her fault. Oh? Well, a fog lifted on something rather unexpected. Well, I guess I was originally at fault. I'd lost a book I borrowed from university. I guess it did look like something that belonged to in trash heap, so perhaps that was child threw it away. However, even I wasn't totally sure. Besides, I was kind of sloppy with it as well, so of course I couldn't really blame her if that was the case. But she was really set in her beliefs and was really obsessed with that incident. I see. But well, you managed to square it away using some money, right? Heh, if you put it that way, it saves a lot of talking, but it wasn't just a small amount of money, and since we were poor, we had to borrow money to pay the fine. The banks wouldn't even give us a light of day, so the only people who would lend us money were locals like Mr. Toyama. He's a good guy. He didn't even ask for collateral when lending us the money. Was he an idiot? The interest was pretty low too. Well, the interest wasn't that low. Don't be an idiot. It's quite low. Deposit interest rates for a bank start at around 3%, right? Just storing it in a bank earns you 3% interest, so lending money to some penniless person at 6% with no collateral must have been a sure sign of madness. Oh, I didn't know. Aren't you an adult? Lisa smiled bitterly at my exasperated explanation, just shrugged. So, Hagana also knew that guy was an idiot, but how did he turn into a reason to hide a scuffle to you? The dots aren't connecting for me. Lisa chuckled faintly at my words. For a second there, I thought she was trying to dodge a question, so I started talking again. However, I realised that was not the case and clamped my mouth shut. Lisa's smile was quite sad. It was the first time that I realised that people can laugh with such a sad face. I really think I can trust you, Haru. Huh. What's with you all of a sudden? I'm not trying to flatter you. You can somewhat figure out what people really like inside after seeing their very aspects. You try to act all mean and stuff, but you really are a good kid instead. I couldn't get angry with Lisa's serious face, even while I was thinking the whole time she was making fun of me. And that's what I'm going to tell you, got it? Lisa clung onto a silver-coloured cup in her hand as if her life depended on it. Once I got really angry at her for that before. That? Got angry at her for Hagano intentionally trying to piss off Mrs. Toyama. I guess that really was the case. Yep, she would try her best to anger him while I wasn't looking, and furthermore, as you said, she was actually afraid. I recounted my memory of how Hagano, defiantly yelling angrily at her body, thrust against the wall, the corners of her eyes totally red and her hand trembling. You know the reason for that? No. Well, even I didn't know it at first. However, when he yelled at her the first time for it, she said this. She said, "Even if you had money to pay it back, everything would be solved. You would just ship me off, right?" I see. What? Guess normally you wouldn't know what it was all about. However, I immediately realised what she meant. When I was back on Earth, such stories were dime a dozen. Her reply came as she stared blankly and deeply into her cup. I was assaulted by the premonition of something even worse that I could totally hate. Something worse than dog crap. She wouldn't tell me her personal story, so this is all just conjecture, but I came to the conviction that she was bought with money. You can't be serious. Before I could finish my sentence, the root of my tongue had frozen completely solid. Many of the folks in my village came to the darkest corners of Earth. There were a lot of cheerful dudes, but I had a feeling they were trying to make up for something. They said there were places on Earth that people from more affluent countries would overlook, even if such places were in said countries. The lunar metropolis was a powerful contraption to extract money from Earth. It was taught to make money using various methods, so it wouldn't be strange if it existed things like the one we'd talked about. In fact, it would be odd if there weren't. So adopting a talented child wouldn't be a rare occurrence, right? Even if he adopted and feel that way, it's quite possible if he adopted to feel like he or she had been bought. Of course, there are such tragedies when children are being bought and sold. Lisa's tone didn't sound like she was just rambling about the matter. While I considered Lisa quite an annoying woman, I also felt as someone whose feet were firmly planted on the ground. Lisa probably investigated the matter herself. Hagano's math talents are truly marvellous. After all, she got 4 marks on the entrance exam for Lunar City University. She'd definitely be able to get a scholarship to a point of having even clothing, food and lodging being covered by the university. Hagano had to be looking forward towards that, but she'd definitely not say a word of it. Guess she'd been most interested in it right now. Making money. A bad taste spread through my mouth. Even if I wanted to have my own beliefs about a person whilst not knowing anything about the person, having the truth laid bare before me would only naturally incur this reaction. I think she takes it out on others because of the pain she endured. She put all her strength into enduring her pain. She wouldn't be able to control herself. But a debt is a debt. It's not like she could pay it back, right? It's not that girl would need to sell herself. Not being able to understand exactly what it meant to sell oneself, I felt like I'd said something quite stupid. But Hagano was apparently quite talented. She doesn't look bad either. When push came to shove, the method of selling should work. That's right, that's what I wanted to say, but... Lisa heaved a big sigh and continued drinking. After gulping down one, she roughly poured herself some more. I'll pay it back. Actually, even right now. What? I looked at Lisa in amazement. And then I followed a mock exclamation. You're going to sell yourself? Lisa spewed out liquid and started coughing. Oh, gross. See, don't say such bizarre things. That's kind of how the conversation flowed. Man, well, it probably wasn't far off a mark. Huh? I do have things to sell, however, they're pretty much a part of me, so I was hesitant at selling them. Lisa looked up, staring off into space, like some precocious child observing the stars for the first time. However, what she was staring at wasn't the far-off nebulae, but rather something closer. The bookshelves. After I noticed what she was looking at, she sighed and continued. It's like you running away from not wanting to work. I've been trying to avoid a problem. I sold a few of the books that lining these shelves. I'll be able to pay back the loan. Are they really that awesome? As time passes, the amount of books can't increase. They can only decrease, and in that sense, they're precious. A part of a font of human knowledge rests upon these books, and so in a sense, they are awesome. But stop copying me. It's not like life would be harder without them. To that sense, they aren't that great, but selling them would feel like ripping out a part of my own body. I still have no clue what you're spouting. Besides, if you sold them, couldn't you just buy them again later? My problems would be a lot simpler if that were the case. You can't buy them again. Books like what these aren't ones you'll find anywhere. They're not books everyone's going to want. Because the people who want them are fanatic about getting them. Once they get their hands on them, it's very rare they'd want to get rid of them. Even on Earth, only a few books of this type exchange hands per year. Probably, therefore, if I put these up for sale, I'd definitely find a buyer. There's a very good chance I'll never get them back again. It's not like I'm waiting for them to appreciate in value to sell them. They're more like friends, comrades to me, if you get my meaning. About something from the glimpse Lisa threw at me. Putting comrades up for sale would definitely yield buyers. Once your comrades are sold, you'll never get them back. That's why I've been dragging my feet. If I found an adult dragging their feet on doing something they should be doing, I'd totally want to kick their butt and spit on them. However, even with those beliefs, I couldn't bring myself into thinking about one to Lisa. I guess Lisa really loved these books. Like real people who are their friends and comrades. The sight of her standing in front of a bookcase, leaning on the bed and speaking absent-mindedly, gave the impression of a girl at her wit's end. And that wasn't something shameful. If this was something which should drive even Lisa to its wit's end, then it must be something truly formidable. And that must be, without a doubt, her love for books. Well, I guess you just have to pay it back bit by bit. Well, you're right, that's the case, but... As if to proclaim her return to reality, she let out an adult yet bitter smile, and polished off the rest of the liquor in a cup easily. And you're the same, aren't you? In 20 days, I'll have you to find some way to make money. In 20 days, huh? Reading no signs about my stock trading, I replied sulkily. As you can see, I'm really in no position to lecture you, but however I do have one thing to say. Yeah? That stuff about Hagana. Oh yeah. I have a wish to ask of you. What, like, could you please get along with her because of her sad predicament? Lisa kept mimicking me, so I decided to mimic her in return. I thought she'd get mad, but getting such moral education stuff pushed on me made me kind of mad too. So even. This is the moon after all. Why would you consider loading yourself with baggage if you're going to be flying up? You got it. However, Lisa didn't get angry. Instead, she poured herself some more liquor and wet her lips with it. Actually, it's a little different wanting you to get along with her. It's possible for people to have disagreements, right? I think Hagana and I are like that. That's probably the case, however, when Hagana's glaring down at you, you've stopped instantly doing things in response to intensely upset her, right? You got a point there. That's good enough. What I want you to do is acknowledge her. Acknowledge? Yeah, people's existences are such ephemeral things. Wasn't there that thing from old Fae legends? That the Fae can continue to exist as long as people believed in their existence? Once people forget about them, they couldn't continue to exist. Haven't you heard of something similar to that? Unfortunately, no. There are times like that, and it's not just limited to Fae. Anyone would be happy if they got complimented, and having someone worry about you always allows you to believe that you're a meaningful existence to them. People can't think of themselves as being human if they're all alone. No way. It's true. There's been examples on Earth where someone who grew up with dogs would only think of themselves as dogs. To acknowledge someone is to give a proper response to them, even if that were to be one of disgust. Lisa took a breath and stared at me. It became a bit harder for me to breathe. Lisa had always been caring to me, deciding to answer pointless questions in part because she respected me. I don't mind if you guys have arguments, and I don't think you guys are such opposites either. Well, yeah, right. Well, and the one thing I would ask of you most is... Lisa cut off my words, stood up from her bed, and held my hands. Don't ignore her. She's lost all her faith in self-worth. It can't be healthy for someone to think that selling herself would be the way to pay back a debt. I want to say that everything is equal before the Lord, but before that, I want her to never forget that she is a human being, and not just some item. I know that it's the moon, and that the trend here is that everything can be turned into money is worthless. But those last words skewered my heart. I'm sure Lisa saw through my expression of pain at that moment. Lisa Lisa looked at me and chuckled lightly. I tried to hide my embarrassment and thought about lashing back in anger, but it didn't happen. Since that moment, Lisa embraced me softly. How? You have a good sense of self. That was definitely because of your parents. Yeah, right. My parents, the way they thought were probably totally different, but I believe I must have said things to you to the point of where you got sick of it. I couldn't object because you got it so precisely. After all, I left the village because my freaking parents' unmovable convictions made me want to puke. However, that is in itself a marvellous mark of love. Since they didn't care about you, they wouldn't do that. If you didn't have those freaking annoying parents, it would have been very hard to collect your thoughts, right? I made a clearly bitter face at being mimicked again, and Lisa chuckled, denoting it indirectly. Lisa's breathing lightly brushed my right ear. It was a ticklish sensation that made me sleepy. I shelter those who run away from home with no place to go, because I believe they need someone to acknowledge them. In any case, the moon is a busy place. A bustling and stimulating place, like you said. So most people have no time to care about others, right? But I receive the Lord's teachings, and so I feel like I'd be able to do something like that. Lisa stepped back and picked up a cup I was holding with liquor in it. What do you think? She posed me a question at the end. I totally salute someone who'd be able to refuse this at this point. However, much to my chagrin, I did understand what Lisa was trying to get across. I didn't want to admit to those annoying parents loved me even though I was on my deathbed. But I felt as if I was able to figure it out what I needed to succeed on the moon because of them. It was kind of like teaching me what not to do. And besides, even if their way of thinking was different, it was true that what I learned from these guys in the village helped me many a time. Concern, one's value as a human. The story still felt fishy to me, but at least it seemed like Hagana hadn't been leading such a happy life. Thus, at least being a bit kinder to her wasn't all that bad. Besides, whether I argued with her or whatever, as long as I didn't ignore her, it would be fine. I looked back at Lisa and responded woodenly. I get it. At that moment, Lisa beamed a warm smile. Thank you. Well, let's keep what we talk about today secret, okay? And alcohol seems to be a bit too early for you, so don't drink it while I'm not here, okay? Instead of complaining about her nagging, I resorted to spitting out my breath as if I were just clicking my tongue. I realised it was something childish I would get laughed at by Lisa, but I had no choice. Well, I was kind of disappointed after she said thanks to me. It would have been bad if she found out what I was thinking. I totally thought she'd hug me again. Crap, stop it. I'm being an idiot. Good night. Her words as she closed the door stuck with me for some time. And with that, it's probably a good point to end the episode. Nice touching episode. We learn a lot more about our characters here. Not only about Hagana, but also everybody else as well. Well, thank you very much for watching. If you liked it, leave a like, leave a comment if you got any comments. Leave a dislike if you didn't like it, but let me know why you didn't like it so I know how to fix it. But have a wonderful day. Bye bye.